Hello and welcome to another episode of Tech Tuesday. We're so excited to have you today, whether you are joining us live in the session or whether you're watching later on YouTube. We're so happy to have you. Today we're going to be we're going to be learning about Book Creator. So we're really excited about today, and I am joined by Catherine Frank. I hope I got your name correct, Catherine Frank. And she is a teacher success manager with Book Creator, and she's gonna take us into all of the cool stuff today. So with that being said, I'm just gonna go ahead and hand it over to you, Catherine. Take it away.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be with everyone today and showing you really how to get started with Book Creator. And be able to show you hopefully as many features as we can get through today, but make sure that you are kicked off and ready to go to use Book Creator with your students today in your classroom. So what we're going to do today is I want to get you started right away and make this session as interactive as possible. But before we get started, I just want to touch upon what Book Creator is. Book Creator is a content creation tool where students can create content and teachers can create content in the form of ebooks. And then these ebooks can be published online and then shared with peers and families and so forth. Where you're actually going to log in today, though, is going to be at, if you want to follow along and play around with the features, is going to be at app.bookcreator.com. So I will put that on the screen, and I will also throw this in the chat for those of you that are on here. And so it's just app.bookcreator.com. And this is where you'll be logging in. So let me just type this in on the chat as well. When you log in, what you're going to want to do is make sure that you're signing in on the teacher screen. So normally what pops up is the student sign in, which is a yellow page that has a smiley face on it. Make sure that you are clicking switch to teacher and signing in on the blue page that has the owl on it. I know that sounds really silly, but sometimes we're really click happy and we just click in and sign in as students. So just make sure you sign in as a teacher. Sign in with whatever is associated with your school district. We want to make sure that we're getting premium access. So sign in with your school district email address. And then you're going to, if this is the first time you've ever signed in with Book Creator, you're going to answer the questions that follow. One of the questions is going to ask you to create your first library. We have libraries as classrooms here at Book Creator. So you're going to create your first classroom. And what's going to happen is you're going to invite your students to join your library, and that's how they start creating, which I'm going to show you how to do in just a few minutes. And then you have a number of books, which we'll talk about in a second, to create in those libraries as well. What's going to happen is it's going to have you jump into that library once you've logged in, and it's going to say there are no books in this library, which is completely fine. You just haven't created anything just yet. While you're doing that, I'm going to talk just a little bit. Once you're in that library, at the top left-hand side, there are 3 lines. We are all going to meet on our main screen today, which is the teacher dashboard. So if you click on those 3 lines at the top left-hand side of your screen, it's going to take you out to that teacher dashboard screen. With premium access, you have access to create unlimited libraries. You have also access to create up to 1,000 books with your students. So I do encourage you to create libraries for different projects, assignments, classes that you have. Each library can hold up to 200 books for loading purposes, but you do have access to up to 1,000 to use with your students. There are a few tabs we're going to quickly go over at the top of our screen today. To the right of the Libraries tab is our Discover tab. If you click on the Discover tab, this is going to take you to a section where you can literally discover different example books. The first books that you populate are going to be templates. You can think of using Book Creator in kind of 3 different buckets. The first bucket is going to be creating a book from scratch. So just a blank book and creating from there. The second bucket is going to be creating your own template and then editing that template, customizing it however you wish, and assigning it out to your students, which we'll show you how to assign today. The third bucket is going to use one of our templates down here where it says student templates. You can use one of our templates, make a copy of it, customize it, and then assign that out to your students as well. So different ways that you can actually use Book Creator. If you scroll down further, you're going to find examples by grade level. You can click through kindergarten, elementary here. This is where you're going to find kind of that blank book where you're starting from scratch, whereas the templates are going to be just above there. Scroll down even further, you're going to find books that are filled with resources, ideas. There's really a little something for everyone here. And at the bottom of the screen, you can sort by content area. To the right of the Discover tab, we have our Learn tab. This is where you can find support articles that are really going to help you with step-by-step instructions if you have any questions after today, which you probably will. To the right of the Learn tab, we do have a certification course. This is a great deeper dive into learning about Book Creator after today. It is a self-paced course. It saves as you go. You can bop around to the different videos. It doesn't have to go in order. And at the end, there is a quiz, which you should pass. You'll receive a digital badge as well as a certificate of completion. We do have an app store. We're not going to get to the apps today. This is kind of an advanced part of Book Creator, but I do want you to know that this is available to you. You can add these apps onto your feature list so you have additional features, but we just won't have the time to get to it today. But if you want to add these, I do encourage you to go to the App Store later or learn about it on the certification course. And then you can add these on for you as the educator, or you can add them on for your students as well. We're going to hop on back over to the Libraries tab today. So all the way over to the left-hand side. And I'm going to show you how your students are actually going to gain access to Book Creator so that you know how they can start creating, because that's when the magic really begins, is when you see your students creating books within Book Creator. You're going to notice on the left-hand side that there's a My Books library that has a lock on it. That library is private to you. Students cannot actually join that library, okay? This is a place for your favorite student exemplars, your favorite templates, and so forth. But the libraries to the right of the My Books libraries are libraries that students can actually join, so the classrooms that you create. What I'd like you to do today is click into one of those libraries that you have created already. I'm going to hop into a library that I've created for today. I do have to scroll down a little further just because I use these all the time. Where is my library? Should be right up here. There it is. All right. There are 3 ways for students to join a classroom library within Book Creator. I'm going to show you those 3 ways, and then you can pick which way is going to be easiest for your students, okay? All 3 ways, they are going to be going to app.bookcreator.com. The first way, they do sign in on the student sign in, and they're going to be asked for an invite code. So what is your teacher's invite code? At the top of your classroom library, it says show invite code for others to join. If you want to give them a code, you can just click on the invite code. You will give them the code that populates. Each library you create has a new code. You give them that code, they type that in, and they will hop into your classroom library. There's little heads at the top right-hand side of your library right here, or the middle right-hand side, and they will populate under the test student right here. Their names will populate under there, and you can manage them from there. The second way is through an invite link. So if you are using like an LMS, Google Classroom, and you have a way to actually communicate with your students, you can use an invite link. If you click on the invite code, there's an invite link right under that code. Just click on that. It will copy the code, and you can paste that invite link wherever. They will just click on that. It will take them to app.bookcreator.com. They will automatically log in, and they will hop into your classroom library right under the test student. The third way is through a QR code. So if you're working with like kindergarten students, pre-K students, sometimes QR codes are going to be easiest for you. So those are found at the right-hand side of the library where your little icon is. If you click on the icon right there and scroll down, you will find the student logins. You'll click on the student logins, just paste their names in there, and you can click on print all QR badges. They will also go to app.bookcreator.com, but click on the QR badge button. They will scan that badge when the camera pops up, and they will also populate under the test student right here. We do have a co-teacher feature with premium access. If you would like a co-teacher in your library as well, the easiest way to get them access is just to share that invite link with them. You can email them over the link. And then what you'll do is click on actions. And once they join your library, you'll click on actions next to their name and click promote to co-teacher. They will have complete access over your library just like them. If you need to remove any users, you can also click remove user right there. All right, I'm going to click back on the book options button right there on the left-hand side in the middle. And this is where the fun begins. Once your students have joined, they get to make books, okay? So you can click on the new book button at the top right-hand side. And this is where they can actually select what types of books they want to create. Just a quick tip, if you want to use one of our templates that we have access to in Book Creator, we have over 800 built into Book Creator. You do need to be in a landscape book because they are all landscape size. So just remember that. If you forget, you'll just notice that they don't fit on the page, so you'll need to go out and then reselect a book. You'll notice that there's templates to the right of the blank books right here. These are just pre-made books. This isn't where all of our templates are located, but we have some pre-made books that you can select from that are really helpful to really jumpstart creativity, great for presentations, projects, and so forth. You can also import a PDF if you wish to create your own template by just clicking on the button on the right-hand side, and you can import your own PDFs. This is great for editing PDFs as well, if you wish to do that. For today, if you want to follow along and play along with some of the features, we're going to click into this landscape comic book for today. What's the beauty of Book Creator is the simplicity of it. There are just a few buttons to really get you started and start creating. They are located at the top right-hand side of the page. You'll notice that there is a plus button, which just means just that. So it's really simple to explain to your younger students. You're going to be adding something to your page. You'll also notice that there's different icons located next to the words. So if you have those younger students that might not know how to read some of the words yet, they can learn those icons too. So we have different tools that you can add. We have images, the camera, the pen, the text, and the record voice tools. We'll go over some of these in just a second. You can also add media. You can add templates, shapes, icons, files, or you can embed content as well. To the right of that are those apps that we spoke about that we are not going to get to today, but that's where you would add them if you wanted to add those additional apps. To the right of the plus button, we have our inspector button. The inspector button is also known as kind of the important button. You're going to go back and forth between the plus button and the important button. That important button is where you're going to be changing different things about your page. So if I was to add text and I wanted to change my font, I would click on that inspector button or that important button back and forth. Right now, I'm able to change my background of my page. So I have different colors, paper, borders, patterns, and textures, and so forth. So you can go ahead and just change the background of your page. For today, I'm just going to use this watercolor paper. It's one of my favorites. It's very colorful, but you can change whatever you would like for the background of your page. The third button is the play button, which just means you can read your book. It will take you into read mode. And the fourth button is where you can leave comments and feedback for your students. So let's add a few things to our page. So the first button for the addition or what we can add to our page are going to be images. Our images are coming from the Pixabay Safe Search as well as the Google Safe Image Search. They're all copyright free, available for reuse, and can be modified. You'll notice that we do have a microphone within Book Creator. Wherever you find that microphone in Book Creator is going to be speech to text, a great accessibility feature. You can also upload images from your computer. I'm just going to add a dog for today, and we'll do a book about dogs. So if I'm adding my dog in here, what's really cool, if you pick let's say a dog that has like a background, let's do this little corgi. We can actually edit images right into Book Creator, which is actually, if you've used Book Creator before, is actually a brand new feature that just released a few days ago. So if you want to do anything with your image and edit this image right here, you can click on your inspector to the right-hand side. The first thing you can do is make this transparent if you wanted to. You can also, when it says new right down here, where it says remove background. So if I wanted to remove the background of my image, I could click remove background. And now I just have my corgi, which is great for different characters in books, or if you wanted to take a picture of yourself or your students wanted to put themselves in their characters of their books and stuff like that too, they could by removing the background. It gets even better though. If you notice on the image, there's a little pen tool at the right-hand side. If I was to click the pen tool at the right-hand side, my little pen options populate. I can take the eraser if I wanted to erase maybe like another parts of the legs or something like that. I might not want to, but if I wanted to, I could. I also, maybe I want to put a little magic ink collar on my corgi. Do that right there. Or necklace. I can add anything I want to my corgi. And there we go. Okay, so you can edit your images however you wish. The next thing I want to add to my page is going to be text. So I'm going to scroll down to the text, and I'm going to, you can pick any text you want. I'm just going to use the text box, and I'm going to write all about dogs. Pretty self-explanatory what you see here in the text box. I can bold, italicize, underline, and hyperlink. I can even hyperlink for a table of contents to different page numbers. What I really like about our text box is great for like taking notes or presentations. You can do bullet pointing and numbering and so forth. You probably notice here we have accent marks, which is great for foreign language teachers, numbers, number symbols, and so forth. But we also have something that says translate. We're going to get to that in just a second. Then you have the microphone again. Remember, that is speech to text, but you can do speech to text in over 130 different languages. Just select the language, hit the microphone, and then start speaking in that language, and it will populate in that language. We'll get to translate in just a second. So let's hit done. Once you're done, you're going to add your text, move it around wherever you would wish. And remember, you're going to click on your inspector. This is where you can enlarge your text, change your font, change the color, and so forth. You're always going back and forth between the plus button and the inspector. So I'm going to make this bigger, center it, move this around. We'll change the font. Bold, change the color if you wish, so forth. Okay. Now translate. If I want to translate my text, I can hit that translate in here. Maybe I want to put dog real quick. If I hit translate down here, I can translate in over 130 different languages. Maybe I wanted to translate this to Spanish. The students are actually able to translate. They can, if you want to turn that off, you can turn that off as well in your library settings. But if you want them to translate, they just hit translate, and then it's translated right there for them. They can also translate on a page by either right-clicking and hitting translate or clicking the inspector and hitting translate right there as well. And you can translate text. Okay. All right, let's add our voices to our pages. So if you click on the plus button and scroll down to record, this is great for practicing fluency, great for students or newcomers that want to practice. If they're practicing different languages, they can practice that and record that in their books, almost having like a student portfolio over time and seeing their progress. It's also great for you if you wanted to read directions or record directions for students in a template. You can also translate audio in those 130 different languages. So many different ways that you want students to just record their voices in their books, even just to showcase learning. So if you hit start recording, All About Dogs by Catherine Frank. They can replay it and listen also. So if they want to see, oh my gosh, that's what I sound like, or even us, we're like, that's what I sound like, I want to re-record that. They can delete it, re-record, or then use recording. You'll notice my recording popped up in green. You can change the color of these by just clicking on the inspector, changing the color and so forth. If you want to translate audio, you can just hit on the inspector, scroll down, and hit translate as well. It's going to populate a transcript for you, and then you can translate it in any of those languages. If you have background noise, you can edit the transcript to make sure it's saying what you want it to say. So I'll translate my audio. It's going to give you different AI voices. So if I want like a female voice, I can translate it. And now I have my audio in another language for my students and so forth. Okay. For the matter of time for the camera, if you hit the camera, you'll notice that you can take a picture, you can record video. There's no time limit for recording video. We also have the pen tool where students can draw their own pictures. And what my favorite pen is going to be the Auto Pen, which is our AI feature with BookReader. It actually will guess what you're trying to draw. So I'm going to change my color to like Magic Ink first. And if you look up at the top right here, it says start drawing. I'm going to draw, let's say, a sun. Very basic sun. And it's going to start guessing what I'm trying to draw. So not a mouse, not a cherry. Nope, not a spider. There we go. There's my sun. And it will guess what you're trying to draw and so forth. So your students will have a lot of fun with that. On the second page, we're going to hop on over to media. I do want to show you our templates that we have available to you. Like I said, you have over 800 that you can use. We have different graphic organizers, portfolios, layouts, comics, genres, and themes. I do encourage you to use the search bar to search for different terms because these are all different grade levels and content areas. I'm just going to click on, let's say, vocabulary for us. And let's use this, how about vocabulary map? You can completely customize these. You just click add to book. You can customize it however you wish by double clicking and editing however you wish. And then you can assign this out to students. When they get this, they can click in here, add an image, take a picture, and so forth. Or they can edit this and write in their definition, the word, and so forth, and edit this as well. So I highly recommend taking a look at those. Under media too, we have shapes, which are pretty self-explanatory. You can add a shape to a page, but I do want to highlight our icons. These are our noun project icons. I really like them for visuals for vocabulary. Let's say that our term for science, maybe you're doing a science vocabulary notebook in BookReader. Our term is like innovate. We have all of these different icons that we can add for our term. And they're great for those visuals for the students. You can also change the colors and so forth by clicking on that inspector and just changing the color. So forth. Okay. So those are some of the basic features that you have, are a mix of our main features we have in BookReader. I'm going to exit back out to the library because I do want to show you how to really quickly assign a book in BookReader and then how to publish a book online before we finish today. So for assigning a book, let's say you did create, obviously students can create books from a blank book, but if you also wanted to assign a book out to your students for them to edit, to do that, at the bottom of a book, there is a middle button that says sharing options. If you were to click on that sharing options button and scroll up, there's an option that says assign book. You can either assign the book to everyone in your class, or you could change it to actually specific students in the class. So I have one student in my class. So if I wanted it just to go to this John student, I could click just John and the book would just go there. If I want to go to everyone in the library, I could do everyone in the library, start assignment, and then they would all get that copy of the book when they join the library. Another thing that you have access to is going to be collaboration, where students can work on books at the same exact time. Same thing here, you can turn on collaboration and have everyone in the library collaborate, or you can change and have specific students collaborate on books, which is great for like small group work. So you can try that out. And then lastly is publishing a book online. When you publish a book online, you're going to get that private link that you can actually share with families. So if I click publish online, I'm going to give my book a title, so all about dogs, and click publish online. If I click read online, the URL at the top is going to be the link that you would share with your families. There's also a button at the top right-hand side that's like a little sharing options button, which I'll show you. If you click that sharing menu right here and you click copy link to book, you can just paste that wherever you're going to be communicating with the families, and then they can read their child's book. There's also an option to download the QR code or print the cover of the book, which is great for like a bulletin board if you wanted to, or do like an author of the month outside your door or something like that. So highly recommend checking that out. Yes, question.
If you click the share to classroom, does that just share the book, or is it the editable version where the kids can make their own copy?
It's going to be the published book, so it won't be the editable version. They can still edit it, but they would have to sign into Book Creator to edit it. If you wanted them to, let's say, if you wanted to in Google Classroom, you could post the link to the library where you wanted them to edit the book, and then assign them a book out so they know, okay, I'm going to click on that library, go into that library, and then see my assigned book. That'd be a way for you to like have an assignment for them in Google Classroom.
So I have a quick question.
Questions? Yes.
Yeah, so that screen where you're on right now, so that's where they can share like a view only, right? But I'm trying to find that screen.
Yes, so it's underneath the book. If you look at, there's 3 buttons underneath the book. Are you in a screen that looks like this? By any chance?
No, well, I think so. I'm in my library and I'm looking at a specific book that I just created.
Okay.
And
do you see a middle button?
Yeah, I see that now. Okay.
Okay, and then just click publish online. And then you hit publish online and you can click read online.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Yep. Any other questions?
I did have one other question. Is there a way when you're actually editing a book, like an element in the book, to flip it? Like I was just practicing and I made a book with I just designed the cover so far, and it's I just went on the image search and found a picture of a bird, and then I put some text that I titled my book The Happy Bird.
Yes.
But I was trying to get that bird to flip. Is that not possible?
Flip. We don't have that yet, but I will put that in the feature requests again. We do have that requested a lot. You can't have the image flip. You can only have it like move, like in a circle, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. Okay. I guess that's where maybe some of the apps could come in.
Yeah, like Canva. You could integrate with Canva and then do that. But it would be nice if it's really built into Book Creator, so I could see it coming soon.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, I didn't know if anybody else has any. Oh, it looks like. Okay. I don't think there's anyone else with questions right now. So.
Okay.
But yeah, Catherine, I guess if there's anything else you want to add to close us out, or.
Just to close out, when you are starting off with Book Creator, I know we went over a lot today, but just I always say, have your students play, let them get in, do an all about me page, just like you were doing, have them create a book about whatever they like love doing, and just have them play with it. They're going to, it is simple. They are going to teach you things about Book Creator that you didn't even know about. I've been in classrooms before, and they're showing stuff that I didn't even know that you could design and things like that. So they definitely will pick it up really fast. So just have fun with it when you're using it. But I hope you really love using it in your classrooms. Thank you for having me today.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Catherine, for joining us and showing us all about Book Creator today. And once again, we just want to say thank you to everyone who joined us in this session, or once again might be watching online. We will see you next time.
Bye, everyone.